Hello students. Today I am going to discuss with you a very special kind of boundary value problem known as Sturm-Liouville problem. Together with this, we also study several important concepts like characteristic functions and orthogonality. These concepts are very useful in the application of differential equations to physics and engineering. Before moving to Sturm-Liouville problem, first recall what is an initial value problem and a boundary value problem. A boundary value problem is a differential equation together with one or more supplementary conditions, which the solution of the given differential equation must satisfy. I am repeating. So, what is a boundary value problem? A boundary value problem is a problem in which you have given one differential equation. Together with the differential equation, you are also given one or more conditions. And the differential equation together with the condition to find the solution of this problem is called a boundary value problem. Now, if all the associated supplementary conditions relate to one x value, the problem is called an initial value problem or 1-point boundary value problem. But if the condition relate to two different x values, the problem is called a 2-point boundary value problem or simply a boundary value problem. So far we have discussed and studied about the initial value problems. So in this topic, we will only put our concentration on the boundary value problem. That is a problem together with two supplementary conditions prescribed at two different values of x. So first I want to give you example of initial value problem which with two given conditions, and then I discuss with you the example of a boundary value problem. So first let us consider the initial value problem. Now d square y by dx square plus y is equal to 0 is the second order homogeneous linear differential equation, and the condition with it is given as y at 1 should be 3 and y dash at 1 should be minus 4. Now you see here are two conditions prescribed with this problem, but this problem is not a boundary value problem because it is an initial value problem, because the conditions are prescribed only at one point, namely x is equal to 1. At x is equal to 1, y is 3, and at x is equal to 1, y dash is minus 4. So since the conditions are prescribed at only one value of x, so we will put this equation in the category of initial value problem. So now let us consider our second example. In our second example, I am taking the differential equation as d square y by dx square plus y is equal to 0, and the conditions are y at 0 is equal to 1, y at pi by 2 is equal to 5. So in the above problem, we want to find a solution y such that when x is 0, y is 1, when x is pi by 2, y is 5. That is, the conditions relate to the two different x values. Here, the conditions are given at two different x values. First value of x is equal to 0, where y should be 1, and the second value of x is equal to pi by 2, where y should be 5, and thus it is a 2-point boundary value problem, or simply we call these type of problems as boundary value problem, where the conditions with the differential equation are prescribed at two different values of x. So now let us move to Sturm-Liouville problem. So what is a Sturm-Liouville problem? It is a boundary value problem with supplementary conditions where the condition on the constants is also prescribed to you. So a boundary value problem of the form d by dx into px dy by dx plus qx plus lambda rxy is equal to 0, where p, q, r are real functions such that p has a continuous derivative, q and r are continuous, p is positive, r is positive, and lambda is the parameter which is independent of x. And the conditions are a1y at a plus a2y dash at a is equal to 0, b1y at b plus b2y dash at b is equal to 0, where a1, a2, b1, b2 are real constants such that a1 and a2 together not both 0, b1 and b2 together are also not both 0. That means a1, if a1 is 0, then a2 should not be 0, and if a2 is 0, then a1 cannot be 0. That means at a time only one of these two, a1 or a2, could be 0. And similarly for the constants b1 and b2. The problem of solving this second order differential equation together with these kind of supplementary conditions a1ya plus a2y dash a is equal to 0, b1yb plus b2y dash b is equal to 0. This kind of problem is called Sturm-Liouville problem. In our practical problem, the Sturm-Liouville problems falls under special cases. So we will discuss the two special cases of Sturm-Liouville problem. The first case is when the differential equation is d by dx px dy by dx plus qx plus lambda rx into y is equal to 0. Here the conditions are y at a is equal to 0, y at b is equal to 0. That means these type of conditions are a special case of the conditions I have already discussed in the Sturm-Liouville problem. Why these are special cases, because here we are taking a1 is equal to 1, a2 is equal to 0, b1 is equal to 1, b2 is equal to 0. And if you put these a1, a2, b1, b2, these values of a1, a2, b1, b2 in the Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem, you will get this special case marked as 1. And similarly, there is another special case which oftenly occur while we deal with the application of differential equations. So that kind of boundary value problem is of the form 2, where the conditions are prescribed as y dash at a is equal to 0 and y dash at b is equal to 0. This is a special case of the Sturm-Liouville problem where we are taking the capital A1 is equal to 0, capital A2 is equal to 1, capital B1 is equal to 0 and capital B2 is equal to 1. So while dealing with the application or while solving the boundary value problem, most of the times our problem will falls either under the case 1 or under case 2. So we have to concentrate only these two type of boundary value problems. So first I have given example of Sturm-Liouville boundary value problems in journal, that is our journal case. And then in the second example I have given a Sturm-Liouville problem which falls under the special case 1. So let us see the examples. So in my first example, the differential equation is d by dx into x dy by dx plus 2x square plus lambda x cube into y is equal to 0. And the boundary conditions are 3y at 1 plus 4y dash at 1 is equal to 0. Second condition is 5 into y at 2 minus 3 into y dash at 2 is equal to 0. So this is the general Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem. Now consider the second example where the differential equation is d square y by dx square plus lambda y is equal to 0 and the boundary conditions are y at 0 is equal to 0 and y at pi is equal to 0. So this second example falls under the category 1. I have given as two special cases of some Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem. So this is an observation from these examples and from the Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem that because it is the differential equation we are considering is a homogeneous linear differential equation, so the function f is equal to 0 is always a solution of this problem. Note, I wanted you to observe that we focus our attention on non-trivial solutions because we already know one trivial solution, f is equal to 0. So our main focus will be on to find the non-trivial solution, and existence of these solutions depend upon the value of the parameter lambda in the given differential equation. So from now onwards, we want to find the non-trivial solutions of the Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem, and the solutions of this Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem depends on the value of the parameter involved in the differential equation. So let us start with the definition of characteristic function. Now, for a Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem marked as 1, the values of the parameter lambda for which there exists non-trivial solution of the problem are called the characteristic values of the problem. That means characteristic values are the values of lambda which gives non-trivial solution to the problem. So if you want to find characteristic values, then find the values of lambda first and then find the corresponding solution for this value of lambda and find for which value of lambda you are getting non-trivial solutions, and that value of lambda for which you are getting a non-trivial solution, that value of lambda is called characteristic value, and the corresponding solution, that is non-trivial solution, is called characteristic function. There is another name of the characteristic values. In some books or some texts, you will find that characteristic values are also called eigenvalues, and the corresponding characteristic functions are called eigenfunctions or eigenvectors. So there is no need to confuse these two terms. They are same. That is, characteristic values and eigenvalues are same. characteristic functions and vectors or functions are the two same terms. So now let us consider an example to find the non-trivial solutions of the Sturm-Liouville problem. So consider the problem as the second order homogeneous equation d square y by dx square plus lambda y is equal to 0 with the boundary conditions y0 is equal to 0 and y at pi is equal to 0. So we want to find the non-trivial solutions of the Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem. Now, the solution of this problem will depend on the value of lambda. So, since lambda is arbitrary parameter, so we have to consider all the cases, that means all the values of lambda. So, for lambda, we can have lambda is equal to 0, we can have lambda positive, or we can have lambda negative. And these three cases, namely lambda is equal to 0, lambda positive, or lambda negative, will include all the values of lambda. So, case 1, when lambda is equal to 0. If we substitute lambda is equal to 0 in the given Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem, d square y by dx square plus lambda y is equal to 0, the equation becomes d square y by dx square is equal to 0. And we can find the solution by integrating twice. And integrating twice the differential equation, we get that y is equal to c1x plus c2 is any general solution of the differential equation d square y by dx square plus lambda y is equal to 0 when lambda is equal to 0. Now, here we have not yet substituted the value, the condition prescribed with the given Sturm-Liouville problem. So let's start substituting the conditions. So our first condition is that y at x is equal to 0 is 0. So when you substitute x is equal to 0, you will get y is equal to 0. So substituting these condition in the general solution which I marked as 1, namely y is equal to c1x plus c2. So substitute the conditions, that is x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. When we put x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0 in the equation 1, then we get that the value of the constant c2 is 0. Now, if we put c2 is equal to 0, then the solution 1 becomes y is equal to c1x. Now put the second condition, that when x is equal to pi, y is equal to 0. When we substitute this condition, then we get that c1 is equal to 0. So the solution with c1 is equal to 0, c2 is equal to 0 will become y is equal to 0. So which is a trivial solution. So corresponding to lambda is equal to 0, we are getting y is equal to 0, which is a trivial solution. And so we are not interested in this solution. And so we will move further. Now we will consider the case when lambda is negative. Consider the case 2 by taking lambda less than 0. Now, in case lambda less than 0, the auxiliary equation m square plus lambda is equal to 0, or in some books, there is different way of writing auxiliary equation. We can write the auxiliary equation as d square plus lambda is equal to 0. So, if we solve this auxiliary equation, then we get two different real values of m. That is, the equation has two real distinct zeros, namely plus minus under root minus lambda, because minus lambda is positive as we are considering lambda negative. So minus lambda will be positive and hence under root minus lambda must be a real number. And in that case, when we get two distinct real roots, we write the general solution as y is equal to c1 e raised to power under root minus lambda x plus c2 e raised to power minus under root minus lambda x, and we mark this solution as equation number 2. Now we will use the boundary conditions to find the values of these constants c1 and c2. When we substitute the first boundary value problem, we get 0 is equal to C1 plus C2, and we mark this equation as equation number 3. Now, condition, that means y at pi is equal to 0, we get 0 is equal to C1 e raised to power under root minus lambda pi plus C2 e raised to power minus under root minus lambda pi, and we mark this equation as equation number 4. Now you can see that equation number 3 and 4 form a homogeneous system of equations, linear equations. You know that we are interested only in the non-trivial solutions, and we know a result on the homogeneous system of linear equations that the system has a unique non-trivial solutions only when the determinant of the coefficient matrix is 0. So here C1 and C2 are unknowns, and hence the determinant of the coefficient matrix becomes 1 1 e under root minus lambda pi e minus under root minus lambda pi is equal to 0. And when you solve this this determinant equation, we get that e under root minus lambda pi is equal to e minus under root minus lambda pi, and which is possible only when lambda is equal to 0. But we have considered the case that lambda is less than 0. It means that this under this case there is no non-trivial solution. That means corresponding to lambda less than 0, there does not exist any non-trivial solution, because if it exists then lambda must be 0, but here we are taking lambda less than 0. Now consider the last case when lambda is positive, and when we find the roots of the auxiliary equation m square plus lambda is equal to 0, we get that m is equal to plus minus under root lambda iota, because we know that lambda is positive, and thus the general solution of d square y by dx square plus lambda y is equal to 0 in case we are getting two non-real roots, two distinct roots with complex conjugates. So the general solution in that case is given by y is equal to c1 sine under root lambda x plus c2 cos under root lambda x, and we mark this solution as 5. Now we want to find the constant c1 and c2 which give the non-trivial solution, and for this we use the boundary conditions. Now if we imply the first boundary condition, namely y at 0 is equal to 0, we get that equation number 5 will become 0 is equal to c1 sine under root lambda 0 plus c2 cos under root lambda 0, and this implies that c2 is equal to 0. So we get that the value of the constant c2 is 0. So our solution 5 reduces to y is equal to c1 sine under root lambda x. Now we have to find the value of c1, and to find the value of c boundary condition, next boundary condition. The next boundary condition is y at pi is equal to 0, and with this boundary condition we get 0 is equal to c1 sine under root lambda pi. And since we already know that c2 is equal to 0, so c1 sine under root lambda pi is equal to 0 can have two choices. Number 1, c1 is equal to 0, or sine under root lambda pi is equal to 0. but C1 cannot be 0 because C2 is already 0, and if C1 is 0, then 5 will become a trivial solution, and therefore we cannot take C1 to be 0, and thus we will choose the other option, that is sine under root lambda pi must be 0, and sine under root lambda pi is equal to 0 will give us the values that under root lambda pi is equal to n pi. Now, since we are considering the third case in which the lambda is positive, so under root lambda is also a positive real number, and thus under root lambda is equal to n, where n can take value 1, 2, 3 and so on. That is, n can be any natural number. And therefore, for the non-trivial solution of the given problem, lambda must be equal to n square, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. And thus, in the above example, we get that lambda is equal to 1, 4, 9 and so on are the eigenvalues, because corresponding to lambda positive only, that is lambda is equal to n square and n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, we are getting the non-trivial solutions. And in case of lambda is equal to 0 and lambda positive, we are getting only trivial solutions. So the characteristic values will be lambda is equal to 1, 4, 9 and so on, because these values give us the non-trivial solution. And the non-trivial solutions Cn sin nx when n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on are the corresponding eigenfunctions. So there is an exercise for you, similar kind of exercise. Need to find characteristic values first, and corresponding to those characteristic values you have to find the characteristic functions. So please do this exercise, and in case of any problem you can discuss, and my WhatsApp number is with you, so please go through this lecture. And so thank you so much and take care.